this is Marcin from B.S Audio Tools, and today we're going to take a closer look at B.S SpecDyn. This debugs the spectral dynamics processor, and if you've already seen my video on B.S spectral, you'll know the general idea. If not, I highly recommend checking that one out too. I'll link it in the top right corner. While spectral focuses more on the volume shaping across the spectrum, B.S SpecDyn takes an approach that's closer to a multiband compressor. It lets you shape your sound in a very precise way while keeping a speedy workflow. Before we jump in, if you're into creative mixing and spectral effects, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future devices. Now, let's dive right into the interface. In the center, you'll see the threshold curve and the spectrum visualizer. The spectrum helps you visually set the threshold, while the curve is where you control how the processing reacts across the frequencies. At the bottom, you'll find the thresh parameter. This sets the overall threshold for the processor. The controls next to it let you shape the curve in different ways. Tilt lets you tilt the threshold up or down to emphasize specific frequencies. Frequency shifts the threshold shape higher or lower along the frequency axis. Range clamps the overall span of the curve. One of my favorite features is that you can attach modulators to the threshold. This makes it dynamic and opens the door to some really creative movement in your processing. There's also a peak tilt toggle that lets you generate peaks or notches, which is great for targeting specific areas of your sound. On the left of the peak tilt toggle, you'll find the mode switch, comp or gate. In comp mode, everything above the threshold gets reduced, just like a standard compressor, but here it's applied spectrally to each frequency band. Let us quickly hear that in action on this respace. In gate mode, everything below the threshold gets reduced. Spectral compression is super popular right now, but it's easy to overdo it and squash the life out of your signal. When that happens, you often end up with a noisy, fat, but messy sound. To control this, you can use the ratio parameter to dial in the amount of processing. Ratio here actually works very similar to a mix control. If you ever want to hear exactly what you're removing, just hit the delta button. That solos the removed material and makes it easy to fine-tune your settings. You also get attack and release controls, just like in a normal compressor. For the classic spectral gate or spectral comp effect, you can often just leave them at 0 for a super tight response. But when working with sounds like drums, it can be a nice touch to only process their tails while letting the transient pass through with a raised attack value. Quick reminder, if you find this walkthrough useful so far, hit the like button. It helps other producers discover this video too. After the compression stage, SpecDyn also includes a really nice analog style distortion. This is especially useful if you have done heavy spectral gating, since this can often thin out your sound. The distortion fattens it back up and brings back presence in a musical way. At the very top, you'll find the FFT size and overlap parameters. These are a bit more technical, but they are crucial for dialing in the right behavior. FFT size controls both time resolution and frequency resolution. A higher FFT size means more frequency bins and more detailed frequency shaping. But it also means less accurate timing, smeared transients, and a higher latency. A lower FFT size leads to tighter timing and better transient response, but less frequency bands. As a rule of thumb, use lower FFT sizes for percussive, less tonal sounds like drums, and go for a higher FFT size when working with complex textures or pads. The overlap helps balance out the downsides of a higher FFT size by improving transient responses. Just keep in mind that higher overlap also means more CPU usage. That already covers everything in B.S SpecDyn, a powerful and flexible spectral processor that's intuitive once you start playing with it. And here's something exciting. I've got another device coming up soon called B.S Spectral Dynamics. It gives you even more control with per band ratio, breakpoint functions, and upwards compression and expansion modes. It's a little more complicated to use, but much more detailed. If that sounds interesting, definitely stay tuned. In the meantime, you can try out B.S SpecDyn for yourself with a free demo, which is available on my Gumroad page. The link for that is in the description. And if you know a producer who loves spectral tools, feel free to share this video with them. They will thank you later. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for updates on future devices, and I'll see you in the next one.